Fast Five is brought to you in association with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. The A&M Consumer and Retail Group is a management consulting firm that tackles the most complex challenges and advances its clients, people, and communities toward their maximum potential. CRG brings the experience, tools, and operator-like pragmatism to help retailers and consumer products companies be on the right side of disruption. And Avalara. Avalara makes tax compliance faster, easier, more accurate, and more reliable for 30,000 plus business and government customers in over 90 countries. Avalara leverages 1,200 plus signed partner integrations to power tax calculations, document management, tax return filing, and tax content access. Visit avalara.com to improve your compliance journey. And Mirakl. Mirakl is the global leader in platform business innovation for e-commerce. Companies like Macy's, Nordstrom, and Kroger use Mirakl to build disruptive growth and profitability through marketplace, dropship, and retail media. For more, visit Mirakl.com. That's Mirakl.com. And Ownit AI. Ownit AI helps the world's leading retailers advance their e-commerce shopping experience with AI. To learn more, visit Ownit.co. And finally, Ocampo Capital. Ocampo Capital is a venture capital firm founded by retail executives with the aim of helping early-stage consumer businesses succeed through investment and operational support. Learn more at ocampocapital.com. Hello, you are listening to OmniTalk's Retail Fast Five, ranked in the top 10% of all podcasts globally, and currently the only retail podcast ranked in the top 100 of all business podcasts on Apple Podcasts. The Retail Fast Five is a podcast that we hope makes you feel a little smarter, but most importantly, a little happier each week too. And the Fast Five is just one of the many great podcasts you can find from the OmniTalk Retail Podcast Network, alongside our Retail Daily Minute, which brings you a curated selection of the most important retail headlines every morning, and our Retail Technology Spotlight series, which goes deep each week on the latest retail technology trends. Today is November 6th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Anne Mezzenga.
And I'm Chris Walton.
And we are here once again to discuss all the top headlines from the past week, making waves in the world of omnichannel retailing. Chris, we're just going to roll right into the show today because it's the first week of the month and we have some hardware to give out.
It is, and it is. We do have some hardware to give out. You're right. It is time to recognize this month's OmniStar. So let's get right to it. So for those that maybe are new to our show, which how could you be? I mean, we've been doing this for almost 6-7 years now, Anne. So
there might be. Hey, we've got some new joiners.
But hey, if you're new, we welcome you. We're excited to have you. But our OmniStar Award is the award we give out each month in partnership with Corso to recognize the top omnichannel operators out there. Not the pundits, not the so-called experts, but the real-life retail operators making a difference within their organizations. And for those that are unfamiliar with Corso, Corso's AI Copilot coaches retail leaders to optimize store performance at every level, transform retail operations from data overload into data powered. This month, the award goes to Anne. Are you ready?
Yes, I cannot wait. I'm really excited about this one.
Today's award goes to Denise Incandela, the EVP of the fashion division at Walmart US. We met Denise last month at Shop Talk, and Anne and I instantly were enamored with her and her plans to take Walmart to new heights in fashion. And as Denise told us, her job or mission to transform Walmart's fashion business is just 10% done. An answer that if you listen back to our interview with her, you are guaranteed to love as much as Anne and I did. So Denise, congratulations. This month's OmniStar Award goes to you.
Yes, 10% is right. I feel like every day since we did that interview with Denise at Shop Talk, every day there's more coming out about Walmart's fashion. And I am super pumped, and we'll get into it later in the show, but I've been doing quite a bit of Walmart shopping these days, Chris. So I'm pumped for where it goes.
I know, and I'm excited to get into it and talk a little bit more about what you just teased there too. Nicely done, my friend. All right, in this week's Fast Five, we've got news on DoorDash and Lyft partnering up, OpenAI's launch of ChatGPT search, The Children's Place launching its own Shein storefront, Starbucks' new CEO's plans to transform Starbucks. He's unveiled them, man. I can't wait to talk about those. But we begin today with big news that you just teased out of Big Blue. Anne.
Oh my gosh, that's right, Chris. Headline number one, Walmart slashed the price of its Walmart Plus subscription by half in just ahead of the holidays. Now, this is just coming out. You only have a few days left, people, to take advantage of this. So make sure you look into this. According to the Fashion Network, Walmart began offering its membership service, Walmart Plus, at a 50% discount, now offering a 1-year Walmart Plus membership for just $49, down from its regular $98 per year. Chris, did this sharp discount make you want to run out and subscribe to Walmart Plus? I think I know the answer, but I'd like to hear it from your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it was joking. We were joking with Vanessa Yates, the SVP of Walmart Plus at Grocery Shop, that like maybe I need to sign up for Walmart Plus, and so yes, it did. But unfortunately, I sent you this article, and the next thing I knew, I was getting a combination of emails and text messages from you with passwords and usernames for the Omni account created around this. So 100%, yes, we're all in. And as I think about where I'm going to try and go and do all my grocery shopping, at the discount that they're offering, and considering Walmart's very expanded product assortment, via their marketplace, Walmart has just jumped squarely to the top of my holiday shopping list. And 100% it has. And I may even, this is not going to surprise you at all. Not going to surprise you at all. But I may even spring for some new kicks for myself via the StockX partnership that we're so excited about a few months ago as well.
Like, how do we work in Chris getting new shoes from StockX? I swear this is a business expense.
Right.
We are trialing a subscription service from one of the largest retailers in the country. Yes. How do we sign off on this?
Yes, right. I do need some new Jordans for my keynotes and my panel moderations at Shop Talk and NRF and Grocery Shop and all that stuff. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It's wardrobe,
it's a stretch that could work. Right. Yeah. But what do you think? What do you think? What's your take?
Well, obviously, as soon as I read this, I was like, okay, well, there's no reason not to at this point. And I think that we have to look at, like, this is not a new concept. I mean, Target did this just a few months ago with their Target Circle program, where they were offering 50% off for a year of Target Circle. But the benefits,
but you don't get anything with Target Circle. Like, what do you get with Target Circle? Right.
Exactly. I mean, you get shipping and like same day shipping and that kind of thing.
I guess.
But I think that the thing that's so compelling about the Walmart Plus thing here is that there are even more discounts than I realized, than what we've been reporting on for the last couple of years. Like, delivery inside to your house. You can still have that done if you want that to take place.
More benefits, not more discounts, more benefits, right? Is that what you're saying?
More benefits than I guess I realized. But like the even like the discount stuff though too, like the gas discounts, like I didn't realize it was beyond, it's not just Sam's Club like fueling stations or Walmart fueling stations. This is like, you can put your zip code in and it's fueling stations no matter where you are in the world. So there's that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's also travel discounts. Like you can get, like, I had no idea that was a component of this. And then obviously insurance and all these other things that you get as a member of Walmart Plus. So I think that that's really what is so compelling here. And I cannot wait to see the numbers on this promo, to see like how many subscribers we get in the next couple of weeks, because between that, the discounts at Walmart, and then like the marketplace stuff that you were talking about, there is just so much that you get with this membership. It'll be crazy to see.
Yeah, and I didn't think about this, but the comparison with Target's really interesting to me too, because it's kind of a false dichotomy. Yes, the price is kind of the same, but really the only benefit you get with Target is like the instant couponing when you go through the check lane if you're a Circle member, right? I mean, that's
you don't even need to be a member for that. Like you don't need to pay for a membership for that. Like that's the thing.
But the reason I bring that up too is like Walmart's everyday low price. So you've already got that beat, by that. So like it's a strict marketing ploy in a lot of ways. So it's just fascinating to me to watch the dynamics here. But the dynamics, Anne, are going to get even more interesting in the subscription wars when we do the next headline. So headline number 2, DoorDash and Lyft are partnering up. Specifically, and according to a DoorDash press release, DoorDash Pass members will unlock monthly rideshare benefits at no additional cost, and eligible Lyft riders will receive a free trial of Dash Pass. Starting October 30th, Dash Pass members and Lyft riders receive exclusive monthly benefits to save on both services, including, and get ready, 5% off on-demand Lyft rides and 10% off scheduled airport rides, up to 4 per month combined. 2 free priority pickup upgrades per month, a 3-month free Dash Pass trial for new members. And also, just in time for the holiday season, Dash Pass members and Lyft riders who link their accounts by December 31st will receive an upgraded perk of 50% off up to 4 scheduled airport rides through the end of the year, as well as 50% off one DoorDash order. And
Yes.
I joked earlier about how you signed us both up for Walmart Plus. So upon hearing the news about DoorDash and Lyft's new partnership, how long did it take you to link your DoorDash and Lyft accounts?
Seconds. I mean,
It
seconds.
did,
And I've
right?
already used the benefits. Like I've already used my
Have
50%
you?
off DoorDash order. I've
Oh, I haven't done
already,
that yet.
yeah, I already went in and we got a discount on our last Lyft ride from this weekend. I mean, it's amazing. And I think it's such a smart partnership, especially when you're kicking this off. Like you mentioned in the read, like 50% off airport rides right now, like right in the peak travel season, and then 50% off a DoorDash order. Like that's enough right there to kind of make this at least your first few months of DoorDash totally worth the investment. And
100%.
I think the other thing too is that if I look at Gen Z and millennials and where they're prioritizing spending money right now, travel is a big one, and food
Yep.
delivery. Like you look at
Yep.
DoorDash and who their subscribers are, like these are great companies to be merging because everyone wins. Like Lyft and DoorDash both get valuable customer data that they can share. Customers are getting discounts on the things that they're already significantly spending money on each week. And I think that down the road too, Chris, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, but I wonder if there's not like tech implications that can help here once Lyft and DoorDash start integrating their systems. Like, can you start using routing platforms for DoorDash? Can you have dashers that are
Oh,
doing
100%.
both pickup, both people pickup, just like Uber Eats is doing.
Yeah.
Like I think really this comes down to the whole is the greater than the sum of its parts. Like collaboration here is going to be the responsibility now of every service provider out there. You're going to have to find those angles of where you can provide consumers with the best experience by finding the partners that most closely align with you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about this story to me is I actually signed up for this one before you did. I actually
Yes.
saw this and I texted you and it was so easy. Like that's what I couldn't believe. Like there's just like an advertisement on top of my DoorDash app that says link your Lyft account. I was like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, I agree with everything you said. The implications for me are, I think the two angles I would bring to the discussion are on the one hand, you have here DoorDash and Lyft linking up, which is, for those that remember, not that dissimilar to when Instacart and Uber Eats started locking arms, a
Right.
while back. But the point I think you're making here is the discounts and the promotions of this hookup combined with the other advantages of the Dash Pass relative to Instacart, like particularly the max streaming service, the return
Hmm.
options, that makes this whole thing so much more appealing to me than the Instacart and Uber Eats partnership on paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on the
That's a
other
great
hand,
point.
yeah, and then on the other hand, the other thing it gets me thinking about is who has really set themselves apart this year in the subscription landscape, man? Like if we just step back and we just say, who has won the subscription battle this year? The answer is clear to me that Walmart and
Wayfair?
DoorDash have. Wait, right. Good one. Good one. But maybe, I mean, they're actually doing something unique, right? Which is
Yeah.
interesting. So, like, that's my point here is like, I think Walmart and DoorDash have gone leaps and bounds beyond what people expected. And,
Yes.
but you know who is left kind of holding the bag here, proverbially, is Amazon Prime. Like
Hmm.
Amazon Prime is essentially getting its butt kicked in 2023 and 2024 when you look at how it's evolved from a service or the benefits it's providing to its members. And I hate to say that because we used to work with the VP of Amazon Prime, Jamil Gahani, but really what has Prime done to differentiate itself from the pack in the last year? It feels like nothing. It feels like the competition is caught up and that everyone else is providing more value now. So I hope this serves as a wake-up call to Prime leadership, honestly, because I think it's time Prime leadership gets more creative.
Yeah. Well, especially when the price is going up for Prime too. Like I think that's the other thing
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
Like you've
Prime's
got
also more
Walmart.
expensive now
Yeah,
than,
you
than
got
all these
Walmart
options.
slashing. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that you brought that up because I do think it's really important for people to be thinking about like where's the traffic going? Where are people headed? Where's this next generation going to prioritize that monthly subscription? And it certainly seems like Walmart and DoorDash are making much more compelling offers. All right, Chris, let's go on to headline number 3. OpenAI has launched ChatGPT. GPT search. According to CNBC, OpenAI on Thursday launched ChatGPT search, positioning the company to better compete with search engines like Google, Microsoft's Bing, and Perplexity. In July, OpenAI announced it was beta testing a prototype of the search engine called Search GPT, and now it's officially rolled the product into ChatGPT. OpenAI says users can now, quote, search in a more natural, intuitive way, end quote, and ask follow-up questions, quote, just like you would in a conversation, end quote. The search model is a fine-tuned version of OpenAI's most powerful AI model yet, GPT-4o, and is fueled in part by third-party search providers and content provided by news industry partners. Chris, are you buying or selling ChatGPT search?
Oh, and I'm buying. I'm buying this in a big way. In fact, I've jumped so far in the deep end of the pool you can't even see my bald head, and honestly, because I think this is 100% going to change the way we shop online. Keep in mind too,
Really?
Anne.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
100%. I'm really buying this one hard, hook, line, and sinker, because we're only 1 week into the release of this, like barely a week, and I can
yeah,
already see the potential. I tried it yesterday. I don't know if you saw
yes.
my post on LinkedIn, but
I
I
did,
tried
yeah.
I need a new winter coat, right? And so I started using it just to play around with it, and I'm like, basically like saying, you know what? I live in Minneapolis. I want a winter coat for under a certain amount of dollars. Create a matrix for me that, you know, compares all the coats that I should be looking at and gives me the characteristic breakdown of what coat has what, and put it in a chart for me and let me know what I should do. And it did it. And it was pretty cool.
Yes.
Now, granted, there's still a lot of things that need to come together, particularly on the data side. Like the model's only as good as the data, which retailers, if
Yep.
you're listening, get your data right if you want to win in
Yep.
this new search landscape. But that's
Yep.
one, you know, that's one thing. And then you got to figure out how to get commerce conducted off it, get images. So the user interface still needs to take shape. But man, and I'm so excited about this. Like I'm almost like Jim in American Pie if I'm not too careful. But it's super, super cool. And Google is going to have to start adapting their experience fast to counter this, because I was on Google trying to do the same thing, and it was not nearly as easy. I know they're
Yeah.
thinking about it. In fact, I got some text from some Googleites yesterday after they saw my post, you know, talking about all the things that need to happen to make this happen, which is really cool to think about and gets my mind going, because but man, the shots have been fired on this, and holy cow is my opinion in terms of where this goes next. And we're going to see it through all angles. We're going to see it on, you know, through the search engines. We're going to see it online through the retailer's own sites. Like it's coming, and it is a better way to look for product. Like I'm curious for you, you're in the home furnishing space right now because you're moving.
Mhm.
Wouldn't this be advantageous for you than having to like go through the list of like preset filters that limit what you want and the language with which you can use to describe the things you're looking for? I don't know, but I'm curious what you think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at this in a couple different ways. I think on the Google side of things, Google does have the product imagery, they have the shopping experience. I think where Google still needs to improve is in the, like you said, like not every question that you query with Google has the natural language response yet, like you're getting from ChatGPT. But I also tried the Search GPT function, and I think like that still has a long way to come. Like we
Oh
still
yeah,
had to
100%
put
it
so
does.
many more prompts in there to like get it out to
Yep.
get the export that you would want. And I think that already comes naturally to people going to Google or Google properties to search for product already. So I think it's going to be like a real race, ultimately ending in like the consumer getting a much simpler search process, and search changing significantly in how we search for things within the next year even. Like that's what I think is so
Yeah.
exciting. I think like by, you know, the time we're at Shop Talk in the spring, or you're like, or even like going into the summer, I think the shopping experience for the average consumer in the US is going to look so different. And I think my biggest question you called out earlier is, how do we see the retailer investments then shift in 2025 to support the investment in product data so that their products can be served up in these new ways? And you're already behind retailers. Like this is where I
Right.
think you need to put a lot of focus and investment as we're headed into this year.
Yeah. And my hunch is it won't. Like we won't see retailers invest in this in 2025. It'll be like a 26, 27, 28 investment horizon, but I have no idea. But the other point too, Ed, like you brought this up on a webinar we did recently. Like I got thinking about the possibility of ad insertion within these natural language queries that you're making too. Like
Yeah.
those are going to convert like crazy. Like, hey,
Hmm.
I want this, with this characteristics. I want it delivered to me now. Who can give it to me? What's the best price you can give me? And man, how the technology starts to change around that whole idea too. It's just, oh man,
Well,
this is,
Google's already doing that. Google's already doing that right now with their new shopping tools, and it is
yeah, they are.
unbelievable. Like
Yeah,
I started doing that, like you said, with home furnishings
yeah.
and like taking a picture of a chair and then seeing that across the board. Like you're already seeing the deals that you can add. Like they have the discount codes in some of the pictures. It's like this is just insane the amount of data I now have at my fingertips as a consumer. So
Yeah, if you kind
I'm
of already
excited.
know what you want, like Google is
Yeah.
crushing it right now with all their
Yeah.
new rollouts and their new innovations they put, particularly around pricing. So yeah, I mean, it's just it's a cool time to be in retail because it's going to change a lot here over the next 10 years. All right, headline number 4. Speaking of changes, the Children's Place has opened a digital storefront on Shein. According to Chain Store Age, the Children's Place is now selling its apparel directly to users of the global on-demand fashion app Shein. Currently, the Children's Place storefront is available only to US Shein customers and will soon be made available globally in a phased rollout. The partnership is also somewhat of a departure from normal business practices for Shein, which mostly offers Shein branded affordable apparel and accessories from a global network of vendors. And I'm curious, would you have advised the Children's Place to start selling via Shein?
Yeah, I mean, we
You
already
would.
know that some retailers and brands are testing like some product development with Shein. Like they're using like early stage like product design and development where they're just trying to get prototypes made of certain things. So I think this to me though feels like an experiment that has to be done. You have that younger demographic that's, using Shein religiously day after day after day to get outfitting for themselves. And I think the next like progression into this with this age group is getting into kids wear. Like it just makes sense to test this so that, as people are buying clothing for their own kids or they're gifting that they have another place to go get it where they're already engaged in shopping.
I would 100% do this if I was Children's Place. I mean, we were screwing around on the internet yesterday. We realized that Children's Place already has a storefront on Amazon. So
Yeah.
if you're already all in on the marketplace strategy, why wouldn't you go to another marketplace? I don't see
Hmm.
why you wouldn't do that. It makes no sense logically.
Hmm.
Now, de minimis regulations aside, because we don't know how that's going to shake out. But for example, does the Children's Place or some other brand start to take note of this and start to parlay this into a new way to do e-commerce? And by that, I mean, i.e., going direct from factory. So small
Hmm.
batch production should work just as well for any e-commerce player that wants to think about this in this way. The only catch is, would the customer be willing to wait the additional time for it? But I think they
Right.
would in exchange for the lower price. So this potentially gets the Children's Place more accessible to the average American consumer if they take this approach, which also means, and this is where my head really starts to spin, in relationships like this via Shein also create a world where a brand is potentially never out of stock online. And that's
Mm.
crazy. Think about that for a second. You're never out of stock online. So that's why I love this idea and think we could see more people go this way in the future, or at least there's the other angle to this. At least white label Shein supply chain capabilities for their own website so they can never
Yeah.
be out of stock, right? There's a lot
Hmm.
of angles to this that are going to come and sprout up. And that's why I love it. And that's why I'm 100% supportive of Children's Place trying this, especially given where they are financially too.
All right, Chris, let's go to headline number 5. This is the headline I was most excited about from this week, I have to say.
Oh,
So Starbucks new CEO Brian Niccol wants to make Starbucks a coffee shop again, but also a faster one. According to Restaurant Business Online, Niccol, in his first earnings call at the helm of the Seattle-based chain last Wednesday, described a strategy that effectively makes the company a coffee shop again, with comfortable seating and ceramic mugs for those who want to spend some time inside, much like they had for most of the chain's history. But the company will also be quicker for those customers who have no intent on sitting anywhere but their office chair or their automobile. Niccol wants every customer to get their drink within 4 minutes of ordering, a goal the company currently meets only half the time.
it's
He's
wild.
intent on achieving that goal. Niccol mentioned 4 minutes 13 times on the earnings call, even going so far as saying, quote, I'm putting a full court press on solving 4 minutes, end quote. Starbucks also announced on the earnings call that it plans to stop charging customers who order non-dairy beverage modifiers for their drinks, such as oat milk or almond milk, and that it plans to bring back the condiment bars that were a casualty of the pandemic, which will help speed service because baristas will be able to simply hand customers their coffees right at the point of sale. While removing those charges for the non-dairy milk will cost the companies some revenue, Niccol believes that allowing customers to add their own almond milk will improve throughput and help traffic in the long run. And customers will probably like what amounts to be a 10% discount on their drink. Now, Chris,
Wow, where do we start, Ann? Oh my God.
This is also the A&M put you on the spot question.
Oh, geez, I forgot about that. We don't have that yet. Oh
yes.
God. Okay.
Okay.
A lot of rows
lots of questions here. Yes.
Oh my God.
All right. So A&M wants to know, this is their question for you. We discussed the CEO transition and what Starbucks should do next with you guys on the Fast Five when it was announced, and we hosted a few months ago. On that podcast, we said that Starbucks needed to get back to improving the poor speed of service and long waits, reset the right price value on product, and focus on fundamental Starbucks experience for those who sit in store. So the question A&M has is, was Brian listening to all of us all along? And did he steal our suggested playbook? Chris, the floor is yours.
Oh my God. Wouldn't we like to think so, A&M? Wouldn't we like to think so? Yes. I mean, chances are no, but maybe somebody was inspired inside his organization to help him put this plan together. But I mean, Ann, I don't know about you. I don't know if you're buying this or not, because I'm curious, because you kind of, I think in that same discussion went the complete different direction. So I'm curious to see what you think. But I'm not buying a first class ticket on this new turnaround train plan, but I'm definitely happy to sit and coach along this journey right now. I'm definitely happy. I mean, I love the creamers and the condiment bar move. That is a win-win for me, both for the customers and for staff operations. I think it does everything they say it's going to do. I love the focus on 4 minutes, because that is personally my biggest gripe, particularly when I go into the store to order, and it has taken me sometimes 20 minutes to get my drink, and that is just too freaking long. Now, how you do that algorithmically is a big question. I don't even know if it's possible given how many mobile orders you got going through the system. The part that I'm most kind of leery about though is the ceramic mug thing, because that actually requires a pretty sizable operational change. You have to collect them, you have to get them washed, you have to keep them in stock.
But you can do that now at Starbucks if you want. You can get a ceramic mug.
From Starbucks?
Yeah, and how many people really were like that?
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
I think that's just like that's like a PR sizzle thing.
Well, yes, 100%. And that's what I was gonna say. I'm leery of it, but when I think about it, it's a marketing investment that could potentially be offset by reducing the marketing budget in other places. So by that, I mean, instead of advertising Starbucks as the third place, just make it the third place and the story sells itself. So that's why I think it's kind of genius, especially if you could, I didn't even know you could already do that. So then the operational dynamics probably are a lot less than I was expecting. Although I imagine there is some increased cost or operational effect to this, but
if people do it, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, I think this is so overblown of like,
well, you could force the question though at the cashier. Would you like that in a ceramic cup, or would you like that in a takeaway cup? And you know what? If I'm sitting there, I'm getting a ceramic cup. Yeah, for sure. I think I am.
Well, you should do that now.
100%, because my coffee tastes better in ceramics, and everyone knows that. Come on. All right, but what do you think? What do you think? Are you going to throw shade on Mr. Niccol?
No,
or are you
no.
Jump on board this gravy train? What do you think?
Listen, Brian Niccol's for president. Like, that dude has somehow figured out. Well, I mean, look at what he's done. He's taken you and I. We are on opposing sides of this argument, and he's giving everybody a little bit of what they want, from the baristas to the customers. Yeah. Like, somehow you get your coffee house experience when you want it. Like, everybody's lives are going to be better because the Starbucks are going to be hopefully nicer. And if they're really investing in this like coffee house experience, I get my drink made in less than 4 minutes, which is all that I want. I want faster operations. I want to get that drink as quickly as possible with as few hands touching it as possible. I just want the same consistent coffee all the time. And now dairy-free customers get the 10% price reduction in their coffee. Like, this is amazing. He's doing everything for everyone. And I do think, like, you were talking about earlier, like, does he have the chops, or is it possible to really start to get to that under 4 minute process? And the guys from Chipotle, like, he knows how to automate things and cut out things that are
Mhm.
not working or that are holding up the system. So I think that we'll see a lot of great things come if they can be successful in really giving every single person what they want in this situation. I don't care if you can hang out at the Starbucks all you want. I just want my
Wow.
coffee
Yeah,
fast.
and he's already doing the 4 minute thing because making the customers pour in their own, dairy or dairy substitutes at the condiment bar, that definitely is going to speed up the process too, as well. Also, there's a couple other points that I love the 4 minutes thing just as a leadership thing. It's easy to rally ground. It's an
Hmm.
easy metric to get everyone behind, and it makes sense. So that, from a leadership standpoint, is really cool. And the other point too, he's also we didn't talk about this in the headline, but he simplified the product line. He got rid of the
Yep.
rumored to
The
be
oleato.
dysentery driving oleato line, right? So like
Yeah.
that's now gone, and I don't miss that. I don't know about you, but I don't miss it. And so, especially given those rumors, so like, I think that makes sense. And then I wonder what further menu reductions are going to come out of this too down the road. So you're liking this
Yeah,
now.
no, I think he did it. I
Wow.
think he's doing a great
About
job.
face.
I think he's coming in and doing exactly what he should be doing and what they brought him in to do, really. Like,
Mhm.
they there's a reason they took him, and they're taking more people from Chipotle too, to kind of take the turnaround that team was able to do for
Mhm.
Chipotle and start doing it for Starbucks, because they need it, especially when you start talking about markets outside the US like China, where they're just getting killed by Luckin Coffee and some of these other players that are coming in now to the US too. So
Yeah.
they got to get their poop in a group, you know?
And the Oleato thing is a signal too from a leadership standpoint, because that was Howard Schultz's baby, and he's basically like,
Yep.
nope, we're done. We're not
Yep.
doing that anymore. I don't
Yep.
care. And so
Yep.
that's cool. I like it. I like it. All right, we'll see how it
Uh,
goes. Could be a
all right,
big
Chris.
fanboy coming up here, Ann. Could be a
All
big
right.
fan
All
moment for
right.
me.
He could be CEO of the year. Doug McMillan, you may have
No,
been
never, never,
dethroned.
never, never. That's never happening, Ann. That's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
All
Doug is
right,
always
Chris.
A in my book, Ann.
Okay, all right. Let's go to the lightning round, Chris. As we mentioned, as of tomorrow, Starbucks is eliminating the extra charge for milk alternatives, which will cost the coffee giant an estimated $1 billion a year and save its customers 10% off their drinks. What non-dairy drink will you be getting to celebrate it?
Ooh, and easy, easy, easy. Iced coffee, grande iced coffee with a splash of coconut milk. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a splash of coconut milk
So you're
in
not
my
even going to
iced
make the
coffee.
barista put the non-dairy milk in. You're going to do it.
Splash the coconut, and splash the coconut. That's what I'm going to do myself at the condiment bar. Yes, and probably make a huge mess, because I have a history of spilling coffee everywhere I go, especially on
Yes.
expensive rugs at friends of ours' place of business. All right, Topps, the famed baseball card maker, is partnering with the Westminster Kennel Club to release a line of cards named Stars of the Show, which feature champion pooches from the names of with the names of like Sage the miniature poodle to Trumpet the bloodhound. Those are real names, man.
Oh my
And
God.
what breed of pooch would you most want in the first pack of Stars of the Show that you opened?
Okay, I guess a mini golden doodle, like for
Oh
my
yeah.
little kid who loves dog. Like, he'll probably be, we're gonna have so many of these dog baseball cards in our lives in no time. I just know it. He loves
What
them
uh,
so much. So
what would said name of mini golden doodle be? And do you have that picked out yet as well? I'm curious. I don't want to
dog,
put you on the spot, but I feel like it's an
dog,
appropriate question. Dog.
dog. I don't know.
DAWG. All right.
Dog. Yes.
Dog.
Yes. Yes.
That actually makes sense. I like that. I like that for you.
Oh God. All right, Chris. Last weekend's SNL featured Pete Davidson purchasing a questionable gallon of milk set in a cooler among room temperature energy drinks from the Duane Reade at the Port Authority bus station. Chris, what is the Chris Walton equivalent of buying milk from the Duane Reade at the Port Authority bus station?
Oh my God. Oh, this one's so easy for me, man. I once bought a hot dog off a roller from the downtown Minneapolis Target at like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Oh,
I did it
ooh.
once, and I will never ever do it again. In fact, Ann, I will never eat a hot dog again. I swear to God, I've not had a hot dog since. I will not eat hot dogs ever
Why?
again.
Why would you choose that?
I
Wasn't there
was I
another
was
option?
I was craving hot dogs for some weird reason because I don't even generally like hot dogs, but I was craving it.
Yeah.
So I knew where I could get when I was working downtown on a Saturday, which tells you a little bit about me and my personality. And I decided to go get a hot dog off the roller. And yeah, no, I can never, ever, ever go back, and it was not a good experience.
Poor
So
thing. Oh my
that is
God.
my buying Dwayne milk from the Dwayne Reed at the Port Authority bus station analogy.
Oh, no,
All right.
thank you.
I know,
Oof.
right? All right, last one. A new Oregon Trail action comedy movie is in development at Apple. And did you play Oregon Trail? And I'm
Oh
curious,
my
what was
God,
your
I
favorite
did.
part about playing it as a kid?
I was just when I was like if I think about Oregon Trail, I remember like the beep beep beep, where like your carriage is slowly on the black and green screen like
Yeah.
going into the river, and then you are dead, you've drowned. This is
The
over.
river,
Like you're
yeah, that was the
drowned.
part I remember too, the river part, like when you're fording the stream, right? That's what, like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, so you have to
That
be like, what are you going to get rid of in your cart? What are you going to leave behind? What animals are you going to leave behind so that you can float across the stream? And we always drown. So,
Yeah, that and dysentery, the second dysentery drop of the show, and that was the other thing I remember. I always
yeah, I
died of
mean,
dysentery, and had to go out hunting and shooting little squirrels and stuff. I think that's what
but
I
now we
remember.
know what dysentery is, We can thank Oregon Trail in our childhood for that, right?
Yes, and it's really the only time I ever used that word, so it's probably why it was top of mind before. All right, happy birthday today to Emma Stone, Ethan Hawke, and to the most miscast movie athlete of all time, Wiley Wiggins of Dazed and Confused. Do you remember him from Dazed and Confused, Dan?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Oh my God, you do. Wow. All right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
remember, if you can only read or listen to
I
one
didn't know
retail blog,
Wiley Wiggins, but
you didn't know
when
Wiley
you,
Wiggins.
yeah, yeah, but Dazed and
What's his
Confused,
name
you
in
gave
that
me the
movie?
reference.
Was it
Uh,
Mitch? I feel like it was Mitch. I don't
yeah,
know. I
I
gotta look
think
that
so.
up.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, Omni Talk fans. I will follow up with that. And remember, if you can only read or listen to one retail blog in the business, make it Omni Talk, the only retail media outlet run by two former executives from a current top 10 U.S. retailer. Our Fast Five podcast is the quickest, fastest rundown of all the week's top news. And our daily newsletter, the Retail Daily Minute, tells you all you need to know each day to stay on top of your game as a retail executive, and also regularly features special content that is exclusive to us and that Ann and I take great pride in doing just for you. Thanks as always for listening in. Please remember to like and leave us a review wherever you happen to listen to your podcast, or on YouTube. You can follow us today by simply going to youtube.com/OmniTalkRetail. And watching us on video is the best way to understand the dynamic and the vibe between Ann and myself. So until next week, on behalf of all of us at OmniTalk Retail, on behalf of Ann and myself, as always, be careful out there.